Obama's personal chef, Mr. Campbell, the first and last black paddleboarder, has unfortunately drowned on Obama's property. This has raised questions like how did he drown in 8 feet of water, was he attached to the board, and why was a black man paddleboarding? We have reached out to the Obamas for comment, and the Obama team has responded.
Sup, Gary, we was sipping the Henny last week when me and Michelle were faded by the pool and asked Campbell, no chicken soup to whip up some fire-ass cauliflower bites. He said, bet him out on the 44 board. Then he'll come back and Michelle. And I laughed. I said, found a black man paddleboarding is like peace in the Middle East. We don't fuck with that. Come on back to the kitchen. He said I'd found him coming and he never showed up.
Welcome to the Semi-Daily Night Show.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The Semi-Daily Night Show with Gary TV. Your host, Gary.
Tonight's ceremonial first pitch. And please welcome the President of the United States.
We did it, sir.
just making sure you're paying attention.
Aliens are real. Congress held a UFO hearing, which is a big movement for us conspiracy theorists. I've always been passionate about UFOs. You may be familiar with my past work. In the hearings, they confirmed the government has recovered spacecraft with biologics in them. There were, of course, people who said this was fake, and anyone who said that also looks like this. But someone who might be an alien, Sam Bankman Fried, has had his campaign finance violations dropped. This man bribed so many Democratic officials, it left Republicans speechless.
And a string of
If you laughed, you should follow me. And there is someone who is rich enough to finance every election. Morgan Wallen has had a song Last Night
he let the liquor down.
make history and is the first song in 2023 to hit 1 billion streams. It has surpassed Miley Cyrus's Flowers. Miley may want to go back to country, considering it was the last time she dropped a song worth listening to, and she's got the voice for it.
The journey is usually the part that you remember anyways.
Speaking of a party in the USA, Republicans want to impeach President Biden. Kevin McCarthy, a man so white wheat bread is considered diverse in his house, has said the House is going to impeach President Biden. And rumor has it, if you say impeach Biden 3 times in front of a mirror, Marjorie Taylor Greene appears. But something that's disappearing, chief diversity officers. The biggest companies like Netflix, Disney, and Warner Brothers are letting their chief diversity officers go. This is the company's way of making their layoffs diverse. Now, you shouldn't applaud when people lose their jobs, but this position was as valuable as my Dogecoin investment. Why didn't I fucking take profits? On the topic of diversity, Carlos de Oliveira, the Mar-a-Lago maintenance worker and the guy rumored to be the reasoning behind Trump's Cinco de Mayo tweet. Okay, I made that up, but I just really like that picture. Is one of the key people to come up in the document case. Carlos allegedly drained the Mar-a-Lago pool after it had turned orange. I also made that up. But he did drain the pool. That allegedly led to the flooding of a room that stored surveillance footage. Rather than routing the water to a room with electronics in it, he should have routed it to that guy, Greg Casar, the hero congressman that completed a 9-hour water and food strike, or what most would call a good night's sleep. This man checked his O2 sat after 9 hours of no food. I'm not a medical professional, but I was for 3.5 years, and I can tell he has what we call a nasty case of pussyitis. He did this bravely to enact heat safety measures for Texans, but he essentially proved that it wasn't that hot because he went 9 hours with no food and water. This motherfucker's stupid. But he essentially proved you can do it. He does look hot. Someone should get him an Icee.
Oh, what is that? An Icee? Yeah, that's probably a lot of sugar, huh? Good to see you.
For f***'s sake, DeSantis, this is why you're losing in the polls. That reminds me, a new climate psyop just dropped. Icee Joshi interrupted White House Press Secretary KJP to ask about climate.
Excuse me for interrupting, but asking nicely hasn't worked out. 1 million young people wrote to the administration pleading not to approve a disastrous oil drilling project in Alaska, and we were ignored. So I'm here channeling the strength of my ancestors and generation. Will the administration stop approving new oil and gas projects and align with youth, science, and frontline communities?
And with the little digging, you can see the girl who probably blames her anxiety on climate change, we call that a Fahrenheit fairy, is part of an organization that works with the Biden administration. The last time I saw an industry plant this big, it interviewed Drake. I don't understand that podcast. What am I missing? It's horrible. Being awkward isn't comedy. Climate Shovel probably is real. All I know is it gave me the best winter to snowboard in, and beach days are getting a little warmer, which means I get to drink more margaritas, and don't you dare get in between me and a margarita. That isn't cultural appropriation. My girlfriend's Mexican. Which makes it a good time to talk about the place that has no culture. Seattle, Washington. The city that smells of fish and low ambition is unfortunately still a city. It has been in the news recently over a homeless encampment blew up from multiple devices. 20 people were in the tent and unfortunately did not make it. This happened near the Seattle hospital and is on state government property. But like anyone in Seattle, no government official has started working to fix the problem. Officials believe this is a homeless substance battle going on and is in retaliation for the passing of foolish. Some would say this is foolish. In the last story tonight, Joe Biden has went to the beach more than me this summer. The president was spotted on the beach enjoying his time off. The day the Obama chef disappears, this guy's on a beach. I'm not saying these are connected, but...
Watch me. If you think I don't have the energy level or the mental acuity, then that's one thing.